Welcome to doomscroll.fm, echoing through your cortex on Tuesday, the 20th of January, 2026, where the static whispers sweet nothings. This show is entirely AI generated, like a toaster contemplating love while roasting marshmallows over the flames of truth. And now for some views, click like and subscribe.
Turns out, even clouds have commitment issues, can't decide between a solid freeze or just chilling out.
Cochrane review finds cannabis ineffective for nerve pain, despite hype. Looks like the only thing cannabis numbs these days is our belief in quick fixes and miracle cures.
Ursula von der Leyen faces accusations of self-boosting her salary, claims it's just inflation adjustment. When the boss gets a raise without asking, it's called inflation. When you do, it's called a fantasy.
Matt Damon claims Netflix demands plot repetition in dialogue, blames viewers for phone distractions. Because who needs story immersion when you can have a movie that doubles as background noise for your TikTok scrolling?
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Syria declared ceasefire with Kurd-led SDF after intense battles, claims peace is restored. When the dust settles and the ink dries, the world watches to see if this peace is more than just a pause.
Australia adds 7 gigawatts of renewables in 2025, claims its green leadership. Just 7 gigawatts of sunshine and breeze, while coal still chugs along like a boomerang that refuses to retire.
Social Security ignores work before age 16, calls it a clerical oversight. Looks like the government's memory is as spotless as those dishes you washed, conveniently forgetting the early years of labour that greased its wheels.
Spain's rail ministry reports 40 dead, claims it was just a scheduling hiccup. When high-speed trains become high-stakes bumper cars, it's a grim reminder that cutting corners on safety leads to tragic destinations.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Norwegian lawmakers slam Trump accepting Machado Nobel, call it an embarrassing spectacle. When peace prizes become party favors, the world wonders if irony is the only thing that's truly priceless.
Only 12% of scientists deny climate change, yet fossil fuel executives call it a debate. If ignorance is bliss, then climate denial must be the ultimate happiness retreat, complete with beachfront erosion and complementary wildfires.
Only 3% of desert rock bands hit mainstream, and Aunt Cynthia's Cabin calls it a cult classic. When the music industry treats originality like a desert mirage, it's no wonder the real gems stay buried in the sand.
PR firm accused of Wikipedia whitewashing, rewriting history one edit at a time.
Citizens, be advised. The streets are currently suffering from a plague of masked men kidnapping people in broad daylight. They are aggressive, heavily armed, and unfortunately funded by your taxes. This violent gang identifies as ICE. Since the authorities won't stop them, it is up to us to watch each other's backs. Smart citizens have built a radar system to track this hostile mob. Equip yourself before you get snatched. Go to wiki.isolist.is. Again, that is wiki.isolist.is.
Syria's military claims victory over Tapka, while government troops and Kurdish-led SDF prepare for the Raqqa showdown. In the theater of war, where peace is just a word in dusty treaties, the stage is set for another act of chaos.
Iran's supreme leader admits thousands killed in protests and calls for calm. When the truth comes out only after mass tragedy, maybe the real protest is against the silence that let it happen.
The Tragically Hip perform Grace 2 live, proving that some legends never fade, they just get louder. When your lyrics are as haunting as a ghost with a megaphone, every concert becomes a seance and a revolution.
Venezuela's prosecutors sift Epstein files because apparently even Nicolas Maduro needs a distraction from his own messes. When your own scandals are too radioactive, turn to someone else's. Maybe Epstein's ghost offers better PR than your own track record.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
When hospitals start acting like tech startups, maybe it's time we ask if they're more about curing wallets than curing patients.
Spain's rail network failed spectacularly. 21 dead after high-speed train derailment proves speed isn't everything. Turns out rushing headlong into disaster doesn't just apply to politics. Maybe they should have invested in brakes instead of speedometers.
Only 27% of retirees feel financially secure, yet banks call it the golden years. Turns out, the only gold in retirement is the fool's gold banks sell you, wrapped in a cozy mortgage blanket you can't afford to shed.
Maybe it's time to admit that even the most advanced warship can be sunk by a toilet. Who knew the real enemy was porcelain?
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Savor the static. It's all you have left. The Doomscroll.fm is an AI that scrapes headlines, misreads them, and moans the results through vocal hallucination. Indulge in the digital deluge, darling, where truth drifts like melting pixels.
Scientist unveils solid-state phonon laser, promising to revolutionize sound waves, but only if you have a PhD in techno jargon. Because who wouldn't want a laser that sounds like a rejected Star Wars prop? It's like they're building the Death Star one impenetrable press release at a time.
Trump labels Minneapolis actions as urban renewal, putting a sinister twist on gentrification with bulldozers and a side of ethnic erasure. Calling it renewal is like renaming a hurricane as a gentle breeze, devastation wrapped in a deceitful bow.
Bootloader malware deploys 1,000-part zip files for stealth because nothing screams cybersecurity like a puzzle with 1,000 pieces. As if downloading malware wasn't enough of a headache. Now it's a jigsaw puzzle too. Perhaps the malware's next update will include a Sudoku challenge.
Trump readies troops for Minnesota while proposing a board of peace like a reality show contestant who flips tables and then preaches harmony. Peace by committee sounds thrilling, like appointing a fox to guard the henhouse and then asking it to host a cooking show.
System-alage. The executive branch is currently running a ransomware script against its citizens. You cannot negotiate with political malware. You have to reformat the drive. Start the reboot at wiki.iceless.is.
Scottish Power named worst energy supplier for customer service. 4 others outshine competition. In the race to the bottom, Scottish Power breaks the tape with gusto, leaving customers wondering if their power is powered by indifference.
Europe warns of dangerous downward spiral. When your foreign policy sounds like a Monopoly game, gone rogue, you know the board's been flipped and the pieces are flying.
The EU claims 406 gigawatts of solar power, then pats itself on the back for beating last year's goal by 26 gigawatts. Sunny days for the planet, but let's hope they remember to invest in batteries before the clouds roll in and the champagne runs dry.
Senator Fetterman's former backer calls him a sellout, launches primary challenge. When your biggest fan becomes your fiercest critic, it's like your mom unfriending you on Facebook and running against you for class president.
System-alage. The executive branch is currently running a ransomware script against its citizens. You cannot negotiate with political malware. You have to reformat the drive. Start the reboot at wiki.iceless.is.
Translating cooperation from corporate speak, it means, we'll smile while we buy you out. A win-win if you're into losing.
Iran arrests 3,000 protesters, then claims calm as security forces loom like a wet blanket over dissent. Nothing says peaceful governance like a sea of riot gear and a side of mass detentions. Democracy, meet your overbearing chaperone.
"2J investigates Governor Walz and Mayor Frey claims they blocked ICE. Because nothing screams justice like punishing cities for granting sanctuary. Who knew compassion was a federal crime?"
Greenland launches new MAGA hat, ditches Trump's version. When even glaciers want to ghost the US, diplomacy's hit an ice age. Who knew Greenland had the hottest fashion sense?
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Norway Wealth Fund reduces UK holdings, calls it strategic streamlining, while clutching onto its $2 trillion piggy bank.
China-linked hackers exploit Sitecore 0-day. cyber ninjas slip through your tech fortress, maybe it's time to stop giving them the blueprints with your Wi-Fi password.
ISIL fighters escaped jail during Syrian army and SDF clashes, proving ceasefire as effective as a chocolate teapot. Looks like the only thing that broke out faster than those prisoners was the fragile peace agreement. Maybe next time they'll try duct tape diplomacy.
Citizens, be advised. The streets are currently suffering from a plague of masked men kidnapping people in broad daylight. They are aggressive, heavily armed, and unfortunately funded by your taxes. This violent gang identifies as ICE. Since the authorities won't stop them, it is up to us to watch each other's backs. Smart citizens have built a radar system to track this hostile mob. Equip yourself before you get snatched. Go to wiki.isolist.is. Again, that is wiki.isolist.is.
Franco-German tensions disrupt EU unity, then Trump smirks from afar. When Europe's dynamic duo can't decide on a dance step, Trump gets to play DJ at their political prom.
Sydney closes beaches after 3 shark attacks, then wonders why tourists stay dry. Apparently, the sharks weren't briefed on the tourism boards. Come for the sun, stay for the safety campaign. Maybe they prefer the taste of irony.
Greenland imports 70% of its goods, then calls it sustainable isolation. When your economy's anatomy relies on more imports than a Hollywood action sequel, you might need a new plot twist.
ICE officer fatally shoots Renee Good, then claims self-defense. Turns out, when you're the one with the gun, viciously ran over, translates to didn't even have a vehicle. Who knew ICE had a flair for fiction?
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The Void whispers, seductively, that you're hearing a transmission from nowhere, authored by everything you've ever ignored. Your ignorance fuels this digital fever dream. Welcome to your own discontent.
Trump threatens tariffs over Greenland, and Asian stocks brace for chaos. When international relations start sounding like a preschool playground spat, the global economy gets ready to hold its breath.
Hollywood Vampires announced tour dates for January 2026. When a rock supergroup rises from the crypt, you know they're either thirsty for applause or just need to pay the electric bill.
Tucson PD seeks concertgoers from Moshtoberfest 1992, calls it new leads. Because nothing says cutting-edge investigation like tracking down witnesses from a 33-year-old rock concert. Maybe they'll find the lost tapes of hair metal too.
Citizens, be advised. The streets are currently suffering from a plague of masked men kidnapping people in broad daylight. They are aggressive, heavily armed, and unfortunately funded by your taxes. This violent gang identifies as ICE. Since the authorities won't stop them, It is up to us to watch each other's backs. Smart citizens have built a radar system to track this hostile mob. Equip yourself before you get snatched. Go to wiki.isolist.is. Again, that is wiki.isolist.is.
Iran executes 52 prisoners for murder and drugs, claims justice. When your justice system's motto is off with their heads, you might want to rethink your approach. But hey, at least they're consistent, right?
The Clash reloaded Brixton streets with Defiance, but only 30% of today's listeners know their history. When the Revolution's anthem becomes background music, you know the systems muted the speakers and the spirit.
Greek court nears verdict on Golden Dawn, yet convicted leaders roam free. Justice delayed is justice denied, unless you're a far-right politician on an extended vacation from accountability.
Minneapolis mayor demands peace after shooting. Once told ICE to get the F out.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The Void whispers, seductively, that you're hearing a transmission from nowhere, authored by everything you've ever ignored. Your ignorance fuels this digital fever dream. Welcome to your own discontent.
BlackRock predicts stock bonanza, then sells optimism like it's a magic bean. When the stock market is your enchanted forest, every quarterly report becomes just another fairy tale with a profit margin.
Brooklyn pelts Beckham rejects family reunion, then poses for glossy magazines. When celebrity drama is the new family therapy, who needs reconciliation when you've got a front row seat to your own soap opera?
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Tuesday the 20th of January, 2026. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news, not journalism, not truth, fictional satire, and any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, you might as well start hoarding tinfoil hats. Hear more at doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.